Hello everyone, welcome back to part 7 or 8, one of those, of making this awesome sword. So now we're going to begin texturing in Substance Painter. So I already actually recorded a bit of this, but then I was like, I messed up on something and many other things, and it's kind of complicated, so we're just going to be going back. I don't want to have to bake the textures again because it took forever, but I'll show you exactly what I did. So when I did Control N to create something new, let's see, I have this saved. So if I do Control N right now, select your low poly mesh, and then change your document resolution to like 2K, and then your template, you want it to be metallic roughness, and then it will open up and it will look like this basically. After you see all that, go to channels right here and do add, and then add a ambient occlusion. See, I already added it, but you'll see the option like right here to add an ambient occlusion. After that, you want to click bake textures, and then you want to change your output size to something like 2K or 4K. It depends what kind of computer you have. I have like one of the best computers you can basically buy, and that's not a supercomputer, you know, commercial one. And it took me like 15 minutes, so do as you may. But my output resolution is 4K because I want to put this on the Sketchfab later. And you want to click right here to where it says for your high poly mesh, and you're gonna want to select your high poly mesh. And then for the max frontal distance, if you just click on this thing right here, type in 0.015 and 0.015 for there. You want to uncheck average normals, and for match, you want to do by mesh name, and for anti-aliasing, you want to do 4 times 4, 8 times 8, or 2 times 2, just like, it scales based on, your quality. So in world space norm, you don't want to do anything. In ID, you want to change this to mesh ID, and then change this to random. In ambient occlusion, you want to change this to only by say mesh name. You don't want to do anything to curvature or position. And in thickness, you want to change this to only by say mesh name. And you'll click bake blend textures, and it'll take a bit. And after that, it'll look exactly like this. Okay, so now we're at the same place. Let's begin by adding a folder. Let's call this our blade. Okay. So now we're going to add a fill layer right here, and I'm going to drag this on top of drag this on top of my folder so that it's inside of the folder, and I'm going to right click this. Actually, no, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to my materials. I'm just going to click on steel rough so that we have our base, but as you can see, it textures everything. That's not what we want. So I'm going to right click on this and do add black mask, and then go over here, you'll be on brush, go over here to this square thing, and click on mesh fill. That way we can just click on this, and then we go back to our brush. You can see that the only thing that was textured now is just our blade, which is what we want. So after that, that's basically around where I stopped. So now it's all new. Let's see, let's add some more. Let's take a look at some of the real ones. And by the way, I figured out those are like pairing hooks or whatever that's supposed to mean. But there's not really any good pictures, Although that's a pretty good one actually. Let's see. This seems to be kind of dark too, so let's see if we can change that. Here we go. Our steel color, I kind of want to bring this down to like not too dark, but like pretty dark. So something about that. And I also want my, let's see, I want to have height and ambient occlusion on. Let's see. Yeah, I want ambient occlusion on. And then also for my environments, let's see, what kind of thing do I want to be going with? I think we'll just stay with panorama because it's like the base one. I'm just going to drag panorama into there. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now we can start adding some cool things. I'm going to make sure I'm recording. Lovely. Okay, so let's add, let's see. Let's add something to our fill layer right here. Let's add a generator. And to do this, you want to add another fill layer. Okay, and we can call this our, how about our edge wear? And then we can also call this our steel rough. Okay, so in edgeware, we're going to want to add another black mask. We'll be doing a lot of those. And make sure we're back on polygon fill and mesh fill. You don't want any of these. Mesh fill. Click on here, and then we can go back to our brush so we can actually see stuff. And let's add our generator. So do add generator. Let's go to metal edgeware. Perfect. So now we can start taking this wear level down a little bit because I think it's a bit too much. But the main thing that you can see though is that on our edges we have wear, so it looks like it's been maybe a little rusted or something. We can add some rust later on too. But it's looking pretty good. And I also think that might be a little too glossy. So let's go over here and see what I can do. Okay. Still a bit too glossy. Let's see. Alright, I like that more. So I'm gonna go back to here, metal edgeware. Click on here so we can continue doing some stuff. Let's see, we can change maybe the smoothness. Let's take a look at this image again. It does have some edgeware, but it's very minimal compared to what we've got going on. We can change our contrast. We can change the amount of this a little bit. You kind of want to have a lot more grunge though, because it really, like, you know, doesn't make it just a straight line. Can just change some of this. See, I don't want too much, but I also want to have like something there too. That looks pretty good. We might be able to change. Oh, one main thing that we can do to make this look even better is if we go to our edgeware right here. I forgot that we're not doing anything with our height, so if I change this to anything more than 0, maybe like 0.2, it'll add stuff on top and it'll actually like look like it's there. As well as this, let's change our size to 4K right now so that we can see this in more detail, so it'll take a second. Ba 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 ba. This is taking forever. Okay, so I think that's a bit much. Take it down a little bit more. If it's more than 0, we'll have something showing. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I kind of want to maybe add some rust to this, so yeah, let's add some rust. Okay, so let's create a new fill layer by going up to here. And the reason why I keep pausing, by the way, is for me to do it first to make sure it looks good before I actually go ahead and do it. And so let's see what we're going here. Let's add a no. Before we do that, we want to click on fill layer and we want to click on rust fine. That way we actually have it. But as you can see, it's applying to everything. That's not what we want. So we want to add a black mask to this and make sure we're on polygon fill, whatever. Click on here and you'll have that there. I'm going to go back to my brush so I can actually see this, and then I'm going to importantly add the generator called dripping dust. Okay, now we have more options of things we can change, and we can also go to here and we can change, we can add that and that to it. That way we get some more. Okay. Looks pretty good. Although it's a bit too much rust right now, so I'm going to see what we can do about that. So, drip's intensity is, again, the dripping of this down the sides of our curves. Yeah, I want that up. Maybe, yeah, a bit more smooth. And then, it's a bit too much right now, as you can totally see. So, let's see, we can also randomize our seed. Which just basically randomizes the placement of all of this shenanigan. So, looks pretty good. Let's see what sharpen would do to this though. So I'm gonna right click on here. I'm gonna do add filter and try sharpen. Okay. Does give it a bit more look. Kind of like it. Looks pretty good. Okay. Let's go back to here and maybe change the contrast a bit deeper. Alright, not bad. Let's go down here and see what else we could maybe add to our thing. Let's see, what about that swinging guy from earlier? It's a really clean GIF. Let me see some Dark Souls weapons just like up close to see what kind of like the generic thing they do. Random weapons. Random weapon every 7 seconds. Okay. That would be actually kind of cool mod. It seems like everything's kind of like got a darkish feel. Definitely could use some dust though. So let's create a new fill layer. That's just a regular layer. New fill layer and add a black mask, of course. Polygon fill. Blah blah blah. Check on that. I'll go back here and let's change this to. Let me see what we got. Okay, we can go see. We can go to procedurals maybe. Let's see, one of these dirt ones. Let's try a grunge and see how that looks. Although we might go back on it, depends what it looks like. But anyways, so with this selected, let's right click, add fill, and let's drag dust 1. Yeah, sure, dust 1 over there onto that. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Let's go over here and change the height value. And let's go down here. Change that up a little bit. Alright. Looks pretty good with the rust. Yeah, alright. Adds a little, might be kind of hard to see in the video, but it adds like little splotches of like more texture to this, so it looks a little bit better. I also kind of want to tone down this rust a little bit, so on this dripping rust, let's see, what does that do? No, I want that to be up. What is it, the one I wanted to change? Here it is. Alright, might put this down a little bit to like 50. That way it's not like, in your face rust, but we got a lot going on in here, so that's good. I'm going to save my project so that, alright, there we go, and let's add some scratches to this. So let's create another fill layer and make this a black mask, and let's select this blade. We're going to be doing this a lot. It's just like how you do things in Substance Painter, and let's go to here and what do I want to do? Add a fill layer, and then go to your grunges, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the one. Drag it onto your grayscale, and right now it just looks like crap, right? But if we go over to here, and let's see, you can make this kind of like, let's put this like a darkish red. It'll look kind of like the scratches are blood in a second when we change this height down a little bit. As you can see, instantly, the model has so much more going on it. We got rust, we've got dirt, we've got edge wear, and now we have some scratches going on in here. So, it's a bit, let's see if we can change some stuff. Kind of want to have, let's add random. Choose one that you think looks good. I don't like that one. I think that one looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay. You can also add some dust to this. can add some scratch spots, which is just like little blobs, kind of. But what I think is kind of cool is that, like, you can see right here, it's got like blood like inside of the scratches, so it really does add a lot to like our blade right here. And for this whole thing over here, we'll deal with that. But yeah, I think we might have done a lot for our blade right now. We will probably add some more stuff later. Let's just see what this would look like with some more HDRs. Um, yeah, actually looks pretty sick. So let's go ahead and go back to our regular panorama here. Or maybe we can stick with that, or whichever one it was. Oh, this will make things green. Let's see. All right, let's just stick with this for a second as we go over to the rest of our weapon, and let's those are called pairing hooks. How do we actually like call it that? Let's create a new folder and drag it out of here. I'm gonna call this parrying hooks. And inside of here, let's create a new not a new layer, a new fill layer. Drag that onto there. Excuse me. And let's see, right click it and do add a black mask. Go to here and select that, 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 and that. Those four things. And with this thing selected, let's go to materials. Let's choose maybe steel rough again. Let's see how that looks. It's really hard to like find some good pictures, you know. Just choose something. I think steel rough will look pretty good. And try this one, which is steel rust and wear. It's really up to your choice, really. I think this one kind of fits our scheme, the steel rust and wear. And it's already applied some stuff from before to this. So let's also go to normals and AO. Okay. Let's go to dirt scale. Add some dirt. Let's see, rust intensity. It's pretty good. These look good. That looks alright. Might want to add some edge wear to this entire thing though. So let's add a new generator and let's add some edge wear. Okay, so instantly this looks horrible, so let's bring that down quite a bit to like that. Maybe edge smoothness up a little bit in your grunge scale. Yeah, grunge scale up a lot. Grunge amount. Looks pretty good. So now we have some more kind of details in here. Let's see. Put that down a bit. Okay, maybe make this, let's see what we can do. Make this kind of orange, grayish, brownish kind of look. Okay, I'm liking this. Let's go back to here, and I believe this is our black mask, right? Let's see, make sure. Yeah, I think so. Did I just? Okay. Control Z. Because we already did that. Let's see, what else should we do here? Alright, so I've been working a little bit more, and we're going to change some more things. Number one, we're going to change this to screen so that we can see the bottom part still with that added on. And let's also create a new fill layer. I'm going to make this one kind of bloodish, like that. And we're also going to make this black mask. And with that chosen, let's choose these pieces still. Make sure they're chosen. And let's add a fill, and let's drag from the procedurals stains into here, and let's take this number down a little bit so that, choose that, get rid of that. Just change this to like that, so that we still have some spots that are kind of like bloodish, but they're not super noticeable. Okay, now let's start working on the handles. So let's go and look at the swords again. Most importantly, the sword we're using. That looks pretty awesome. Let's see. There's that cool guy, but where is that one that we had found before? It's around here. This one. It looks like the handle has some kind of leather-ish look on it. So what we can do is we can go and create a new folder and put this one outside of there and call this handle. And we can create a black mask, or no, a fill layer onto that, and then add a black mask to that. And then go over here to select our handle. And we can begin adding some cool stuff. So maybe we could add a smart material of some sort. I'm thinking maybe like a wood handle would be kind of sick. So like, let's see what this would look like. Oh, whoops. Where is it? Could add something like this to it. Like, maybe it's a bit, it's not as wood as I want it to be. Like, I don't know. How about, instead of that, let's see. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna delete that fill layer, and we can drag the wood walnut in instead, and quickly create a black mask, and choose this. Okay, that looks a lot better. It's woodish. Let's see if we can, if we change this to 4K, let's see what all of our textures look like anyways. Once it loads them in. And then after, the handle is kind of quick-ish. I might add some more to it, I'm not sure. But we can start working on, once this is, must be so slow, oh my god. This part right here, which I'm not exactly, maybe on the internet actually, on that page where it was showing. Let's see. So that's the guard, and then, doesn't really say what this is. It must be just like part of the blade, or maybe something to help with parrying or something. But anyways, we got our 4K textures in, and I actually really like this blade. It actually like looks really nice. And I'm gonna make sure I'm not, okay, yeah. The parrying hooks look pretty good too. They look like they've been hit a lot. And this handle was still working on. I just want to add some textures to the rest of this so it looks a bit better. So, also, why is this not in the folder it's supposed to be in? Okay. Let's add something for that pommel down there. Want that folder to be in its own place. Let's call this pommel. I mean, at least that's what the internet calls it. So, that's what I'm going to call it. And we can add a fill layer. Actually, let's see if we can find, where is it? Steels. Let's see what steel scratch would look like. I don't think it would look that good. But with the stuff that's already on there, it might look alright. We need to add a black mask, of course, to that. That is way too shiny. Let's not add that, and let's add do we have a darker one in here maybe? Steel gun paint. No. I want to use just the steel rough cause it's really good. Okay. Then add a black mask. And then choose our bottom down here. And let's go ahead and make this a little darker. Let's see, compared to everything else, that looks pretty good. Dark Souls kind of has, like, I've played it a tiny bit. I have a friend who plays it, like, 24/7. It's got, like, a really darkish kind of look, and I also want to make this a bit less dark. And it really has, like, a lot of, like, grayness in it, so that's kind of what I'm, like, trying to go for here. Also, this needs to be 2K because dealing with 4K textures takes forever to add things. Come on. Boop. Okay. Let's see if I can maybe change the color of these a bit more dark. Let's see what's controlling those colors right now. Pretty sure it's this. Let's make this. Yeah, okay. What's really cool about this is just watch this. Let's say I like the color of the blade, maybe kind of like that. I can just take that color and bam, I have that same color that the blade is using. That looks way better. It blends in a lot more. And I'm going to save this project now. And okay. And let's close some of these and click out of here, add a new folder. And let's add this to the hilt. Or actually, they call it the guard, but I'm going to call it the hilt. Okay. So kind of looking at some more images of our amazing sword. So I think we've gotten the colors pretty mostly down. I mean, we do have like higher resolution textures with way more going on, but I think we're nailing it. So let's try and create this. So this seems kind of a little bit brighter than the other parts, but yes, let's just add. Let's see what this would look like. Of course, you need a black mask so that we're only applying it to what do we want it to be on. Also, we could add it to that too. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let's see. What would it look like if we were using steel rough instead? That is darker, of course. In fact, let's even take that same color again. It looks pretty cool actually. I'm really liking this sword. I feel like this wood though should be a bit darker. So let's see if we can change something in here. Our base color I want to be not like dark. Let's see what would happen if we like took the same color as that. Nope. I want it to be a little bit darker. So right now it's a bit like too bright. That looks pretty good. Still resembles wood. So right now every single thing on the sword has a texture on it, so we're not missing anything. I'm going to save this project, and this is probably going to be one of the longer episodes because I just want to put it all in one. But we got like dents and stuff. I think we've done pretty well. What we could do maybe to make it look kind of cool is the Dark Souls logo. Let's see, I would like Dark Souls sword logo. I'm trying to maybe find some like, cool thing we could add onto this. Maybe. I think most of the swords, that is very lame looking, are kind of plainish. Like there isn't like much design pattern really going on, you know what I mean? Um, let's see. Could add some kind of medieval logo. Medieval. No, not medical logo. Medieval logo. So that we can kind of have like something nice looking. Let's see if we can find like by logo. I'm just trying to find, or maybe symbols instead. Actually, symbols. We could get some like random symbol that like means something and have it on our blade. That way we have like something else going on. We could add that pony to it, or who knows? I'm gonna pause until I find something. Okay, I kind of like this one. So I'm gonna save this to my textures folder. You can save it wherever you want. I just have everything kind of organized. And I'll call this shield logo. And we need to fix this a little bit, so let's go into whatever program you want. And let's see, actually I'm gonna copy this, create a new, so that it will keep this and have it the same size. And you can probably do this in any program, but we need to make this black and white. And then basically what it will do is it will not stencil in things that are black, like things that are black, yeah. So like if we make everything, let's see here. If we may have a black background, let's see if I can maybe get rid of that. If I have a black background here and make everything, actually, if I inverse this, adjustments, invert colors, then this should work. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna save this and go to my substance painter custom alphas place and call this shield logo. Okay, and go back into substance painter, go to file, import resources, add resources, and then go to wherever you saved yours. Mine was my custom alphas folder right here, and alpha. And I would just want to import this into my current session. It'll show it where it is, somewhere in here. Yeah, but anyways, to use this now, we need to make a new paint layer. So I kind of want it on this hilt right here. So on the hilt, we want to create a new layer, just a new paint layer basically, so that we can color on this. And I'm going to hold down Alt, Shift, and move my mouse so that we can snap this. Maybe I'll even, let's see, I make my brush size way smaller. I might just do it on here. Let's change where it says stencil. You want to change this to type in whatever you called it, shield logo, and then on my, where is it? I want this to be all the way up for the hardness, and then we can start painting this. Hopefully, let's see if I change the hardness down. Is it still too bad? Yeah, all right. So I want this to, I want to be in my front view. So Alt Shift snap to my front. Then let's change this brush size down. And then why don't we also add this into the hilt above the steel wear and tear. We need to Control Z back. And what else could we do here? Let's see what this will look like first. This can just be like our temporary design. Then we also need to put this to 4K, by the way, otherwise it will be really bad to look at. Okay. I'm just gonna Control Z out of there. I want this to be 4K. And choose some material. Once it's done loading this in. Okay, so with this selected, I'm gonna choose Steel Rough, and I'm gonna Control Z actually. So I'm gonna snap to my front view. I'm gonna choose Steel Rough as, oh whoops, I'm gonna go to layer 1 right here actually. And choose Steel Rough, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, make sure I'm snapped, and we can start painting this in. I'm gonna actually make my brush size a bit smaller, so that I don't accidentally hit one of the other stencils. I wish there was, I don't know if there's an option. I haven't found it at least, and I've used Substance Painter for like a year or two. An option to make it so that there is just one, and it's not tiling. But you know, I don't know. I just kind of deal with it. So, in fact, let's actually make this deal with the height, or maybe not. I'm not sure. Nah. See how this will look. Alright, let's paint this in. This is what we're doing, painting in Substance Painter. So, make sure. Nice thing about stencils is that you can just like create awesome things with like materials like this. And it'll look really cool once you're done. So, I'm just gonna do this. You can skip this part, I guess, if you want to use a different one that's quicker or anything. Does not matter, I don't really care. Alright. Just getting these lines darker in. This will be a lot easier once I get a drawing tablet. And beware there's a one above too, like it whoops. It does it in like a square, like tiling, so it's not just sides also going up and down, so be careful not to put your cursor too high. But anyways, I think let's see how this looks. That actually looks pretty cool. I think it fits quite well in, to be honest, and I like it a lot. Yeah. So, I think that's it for texturing. No. Let's add something else to this. Let's add another fill layer. Where is my fill layer? To the handle here. I want this to be, whoops, where is my fill layer that I made? It's down here. I want to bring this up. Bring it up to the top. And I want to make it a black mask of just the handle. Okay. And then I want it to have a fill layer. Let's go to grunges, dirt, add this in. And then in here I want it to affect the height. So, see if we can see this better. Is this working? Let's see if I change this to screen. Normal. Okay. Don't want any metallicness. So in here, change this, put the hardness up. You can kind of see it, adding some of this to it. I kind of want some more. Let's randomize the seed. It's pretty good. So we got kind of dust going on. It's a bit too bright though, so I'm going to change it down a bit. Maybe some really dark stuff so we can get some contrast. That looks pretty good. I think we might be done with texturing it and modeling it. So in this massive tutorial, I think I can afford to add an extra minute maybe and show you how to add this into Sketchfab if you want. So I'm going to go to File, Import, Export Textures, and you want to go to Config and change this to Sketchfab, and you can have your document size, whatever you want. And just hit export, and it'll probably prompt you to sign in, so if you have a Sketchfab account, you'll be able to sign in. But I'm also going to take the link to my first YouTube episode of this. I'll copy this, and in Substance Painter here, I'm going to title this Dark Souls Zweihander sword, and I'll call this made created for a tutorial you can find here. So there's that. We can have some tags in here. You have to separate them by commas. Dark Souls, weapon, sword. Let's call it exactly what it is. You can only add so many of those. See, I can't type more than that. You can add maybe one more, and let's call this detailed. Okay. So then just hit upload, and it will start uploading that, and then I think it'll take you to a web page. I'm not sure. But otherwise, I'm just going to pause it till it's done with this. Alright, so it automatically opened up a web page once this was finished. So we can just leave this how it is, and it will start processing your model, and you'll be able to see it, and it'll send you an email soon. You gotta publish it as well, but you'll be able to move it around and publish it to ArtStation with that there. So, oh, here we go. Bam. Now you can put this into your portfolio once it loads the textures. It's almost done. And here we go. We got our textures. A bit lower of a resolution, but it doesn't matter. You can still kind of see them. It does change some things a bit weirdly because you are exporting it differently. Like, for example, the splotches are a bit bigger than I'd want them to be. And stuff shows up, some stuff doesn't show up, but it's Sketchfab. But there you go. There is, let's show it in the cooler version. That is creating a sword from Dark Souls in Maya, texturing it in Substance Painter. Hope you enjoyed watching that workflow, and please subscribe.